I didn't say the whole thing.
GameSHOUT Radio is property of GameSHOUT, a company of Red Planet LLC. All rights reserved. Executive producer, Andy Hodges. For live broadcast booking information, syndication, or advertising, email info@GameSHOUT.com. All comments expressed on the show are not necessarily those of GameSHOUT, Red Planet LLC, its advertisers, guests, or syndication affiliates. All music is licensed by ASCAP and BMI. Recordings of this broadcast prohibited without prior written consent.
Welcome back to GameSHOUT Radio. You're listening to Pocket Players PSP Edition. My bad. And here's your host, Captain Maverick.
Thanks, Ego. Well, we got a great show for you today on Pocket Players PSP Edition. And in fact, we're going to go back to Ego in just a little while here for his review of Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. That's going to be a blast. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about it. Well, in our news today, the Sony PSP Firmware 3.0. That's right, Sony is continually pushing its PSP to offer new and unique programs that its competition doesn't. From what is being passed around the net, Sony's new PSP Firmware 3.0 will yet again add some functionality. Functionality that may even make the PSP more like a PDA? Well, what may be taking it too far, some of the new features are, well, what you would normally find on a generic PDA. The new programs include Sony Mail, Sony Organizer, Alarm Clock, Write Pad, Sony Paint, and the new ability to buy and download music from Sony Music Store. Now, all of these sound like really great ideas and will definitely increase, and I think it'll increase the appeal of the PSP. However, nothing is set in stone and is liable to change, so you better stay tuned to GameSHOUT, and we'll give you all the news as we get it. In come the PSP kiosks. They're spreading like wildfire all over Japan. See, Japanese PSP owners, they have a limited amount of PSP kiosks with which to download various game demos. As of today, that's going to change. Sony has announced that it's going to begin to install Sony PlayStation spots in a little over 300 locations throughout the nation of Japan. Should be kind of nice. Sony has been promoting these kiosks with TV ads and a promotional tour, but the availability of these kiosks has been slim. With the new campaign kicking off, Sony will expand its locations, starting with 150 internet cafes in Japan. Later, 5 major train stations and 150 retailers will get theirs in March and April, respectively. Now, 3 games will initially be offered at the cafes and train stations, while retailers are going to get a little different selection. Kind of a cool idea. Now, Midway has always been known for making great games, but it's no surprise that they've jumped on board with Sony's PlayStation Portable. This year, we'll see a few new titles that, well, may turn out to be must-haves for 2006. One of them is NBA Ballers. Rebound will be hitting this spring, I think, here. NBA Ballers Rebound. It's hitting in the spring. The basketball game allows you to create a player and play him through his career and off-the-court life. So it sounds like a Sims meets the NBA. Rush will also be out this fall, a racer that will give players the option to drive one of 36 licensed vehicles in the story mode and use Wi-Fi to race against others. And the final title to round out this year's offerings is Mortal Kombat Unchained. Now, it's going to be ready for the holiday season. It's going to feature all the classic Mortal Kombat action, plus new moves, combos, and locations. Sounds kind of fun there, too. Well, in other news, there's a new design, well, possibly a new design on the way for the Sony PSP. Perhaps following in the footsteps of Nintendo, rumors are afloat that on the internet saying that the Sony may be reissuing the PSP with a new design. Now, this year, since it was released in Japan, it may sound like high time this happens. According to the PSP World, the new redesign may see a slew of new features added to the Sony PSP. Features such as video camera, flash memory, and well, we've reported on the possibility of flash memory. The video camera idea, that's something new. And rumor has it that it will give players the ability to video chat over Sony's upcoming Hub network. You remember that's the Sony's equivalent to the Xbox Live. Now, in all honesty, it was bound to happen sooner or later, and it will come as no surprise if Sony officials announce this. But however, speculation is just that, speculation. We're going to keep you posted for all the details. Well, let's see, Koei? How is that pronounced, Ego? K-O-E-I, Koei? Isn't that Koei?
Yeah,
they're recognized around. Yeah, that's what I thought. They're their premier brand of strategy and action games. Well, they announced that this tactical action game, Samurai Warrior: State of War, has reached gold status, and for the Sony PSP, it's going to ship March 7th. The game is expected to be at North American retailers on the 8th. Consumers can pre-order the title now at various online retailers. One mini site at let's see, it's www.swpsp.com, is designed not only to be viewed from the PC, but also through the PSP's web browser. And gamers who visit the mini site on the PSP can download full-screen images of a game trailer directly to their PSP. And fans can also learn more about the game's full widescreen visuals and new charms and hidden items and the enhanced character development system and wireless multiplayer challenges. Well, hang on for the ride, boys and girls. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear Egoraptor's review of Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, and he's chomping at the bit. We'll be right back right after this. You're listening to GameSHOUT Radio, and if you're into Xbox 360, you're going to want to catch the Gamepad Gamers Xbox 360 Edition Mini Podcast. Want news about your favorite console? It's in there. Want reviews about only the games that matter? It's in there. Want previews of only the hottest games for your console? It's in there. So be sure to find out more about the games, news, previews, and reviews that matter from the only gaming site that matters, GameSHOUT. Welcome back to GameSHOUT Radio. This is the Pocket Players PSP edition. I'm your host, Captain Maverick, and with me is our old friend and comrade, Egoraptor. He's going to bring his review of Mega Man Maverick Hunter X.
.2D platforming will live in our hearts forever. In the time of the original Super Mario Bros., we were given rock-solid fun in the form of a little character scrolling either left or right, dodging enemies to get to the end of the level. A simple premise that single-handedly led the video gaming trend back into households around the world. Well, more than 20 years later, 2D platforming is still going strong with the release of Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. As a remake of the original Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo, fans of the genre will be instantly familiar with the premise of the game. You play as Mega Man X, a super robot that can think and feel on its own accord in a world where humans and Reploids, the robots, live in peace. Well, until Mavericks, that is. Certain Reploids that were once good are catching a virus that suddenly turns them against their human friends, making them go Maverick. As Mega Man X, you hunt and destroy Mavericks as part of an elite force known as the Maverick Hunters. Except now, your greatest enemy is the former leader of the Maverick Hunters himself, Sigma. The gameplay is perfectly in sync with the original. You got your jump button, your shoot button, which you can charge up, of course, your dash button, when you get the leg enhancement, that is, and, of course, your L and R triggers for easy weapon management. You also still have your wall kick ability, which allows you to scale giant vertical walls simply by jumping off of them and latching back on. There were times where all of a sudden my shoot button would suddenly and unexpectedly release itself while I was in the middle of a charge, but it was extremely rare. It only happened about 3 times during my entire span of playing the game. Also, the locations of the armor and some of the secrets were a little messed around with. Otherwise, the game played flawlessly, and I was very impressed by its transition from the original 2D game to this widescreen 3D installment. Speaking of its 2D to 3D transition, how are the graphics? Well, they're pretty damn good. The backgrounds have so much depth, and the enemies almost look 2D in style. The Maverick's got some slight alterations in design from the 3D angular look, but otherwise, they look true to the 2D counterparts. Capcom did a really good job in this department, and hardcore 2D fans can stop ranting and screaming about the game being in 3D. It just looks gorgeous. The cool, kooky quirks from the original are still intact, too. Remember how you beat Storm Eagle's stage, his ship would fall down, and then you'd see remnants of it in Spark Mandrill's stage, and the power would be out because of it? Well, that's all still here. There are a handful of other beat one stage, affect another scenarios that not only affect gameplay, but also affect obtaining secrets as well. In fact, there are only very small differences between the original and this remake, except for the Sigma levels, which have been dramatically altered and switched around, in a good way. The music is remixed and sounds really techno-ish, which works really pretty well with the Mega Man X sound effects, Mega Man X8 sound effects. There are some original sound effects that are intact, however, which gave a really nice nostalgic feel. Though what won't feel nostalgic, however, is the voice acting. It's handled once again by the Ocean Group, who handled Command Mission and the Mega Man X8 voiceovers. While it's not incredibly skilled voice work, it does add a lot of personality to the game. And when X starts screaming his electronic lungs out to Sigma near the end, you can't help but feel chills. It's pretty sweet. Each Maverick has their own personalized introduction dialogue, fully voice acted and everything. While they might not be too interesting, the unlockable cutscene is. What's that? Cutscenes? Yes, not only does Maverick Hunter X feature intro and ending animations fully animated by the Mega Man NT Warrior team, but if you beat the game with X, you unlock the Day of Sigma, a full-length 22-minute animated cutscene familiarizing you with the events prior to the game's beginning. The cutscene is incredibly well animated and looks, oh my god, beautiful on the PSP's lush widescreen display. It's well worth the playthrough. But that's not all. Beating the game once will also reward you with another playable character, Vile. Whoa, you can play as the game's slightly psychotic renegade antagonist? Yes, sir, but it's not all it's cracked up to be. If you're used to that super fast, speedy Mega Man X-styled gameplay, don't expect the same with Vile. As Vile, you use all 4 face buttons. There's jump, shoot from your hand cannon, shoot from your shoulder cannon, and shoot from your leg cannon. You heard right, there are 3 shoot buttons. You can't dash as Vile either. Beating levels will result you in getting more abilities for each cannon, which you equip in the beginning of the round, and can't change once you've started. There's also a limit to what you can use, since some of the weapons are insanely powerful and others are not. This is managed by a units gauge that steadily increases as you progress. Equipping a weapon costs you units, so you can't very well equip the most powerful hand cannon weapon and the most powerful shoulder cannon weapon together. You have to manage it. Since Vile can't dash, it automatically slows down his gameplay tactics, but his shoulder cannon and leg cannon stop him dead in his tracks when he's firing, significantly slowing the pace of the game even more. You play through all the same levels with different enemies and obstacles, with the same one song playing over and over and over, and what the hell were they thinking? Granted, mixing up your cannons and killing all the enemies in the level using unique strategies is pretty satisfying, but I'd much rather play as X, and I can play as X in normal mode or hard mode, which rocks. Overall, though, I would consider Mega Man Maverick Hunter X a little bit below the killer app line. It's got awesome, solid, challenging gameplay, good but scarce unlockables, a ton of secrets, and a demo of Mega Man powered up to boot. But playing as Vile is more or less a chore, and for the original Mega Man X fans, well, it's just Mega Man X only super pretty and 3D. It's awesome, but not holy crap incredible. But it's a definite purchase. I give it an overall score of 8.2 out of 10.
Wow, that's awesome. I thought you would enjoy that. You really seem to get into it quite a bit. I know how much you love the Capcom games. Well, that we have it. That's all for the Pocket Players, the PSP edition. Stay tuned for the Nintendo DS and GBA edition coming up right after.
This is GameSHOUT Radio, the #1 talk game station in the world. Visit GameSHOUT.com for more info. GameSHOUT. GameSHOUT.